Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Mornings are a very special time for me, sister. I'm recording this actually early morning, walking outside. It's beautiful. It's not really all that cold. I live here in Victoria, BC, and it is a stat holiday today, which is called Family Day. So my kids are not at school or daycare, and if they start to hear me speak in the house, they most likely will wake up. So here I am outside walking pretty much in the dark, and it's amazing and moon and beautiful. But here's what I want to share with you today, sister, as I was reflecting and journaling this morning. A year ago, I was in a constant state of stress. Now, if you would have told me that at the time, or like, Karen, you got to slow down, I would have been like, fuck you, I got this. I had my practice. Now, our chiropractic practice was on the market. We were trying to sell it, and I desperately wanted out. But was running with the practice full time, had a network marketing business, and helping to lead all these women. And I started coaching. I was like, I can do all this shit, because then the practice will be gone in the hopefully near future, which it is now, as I speak into this. And then I'll just do network marketing with a company called doTERRA and coaching. Yeah, it'll be awesome. And I was in this constant state of busy. I realized when I was in practice that although I loved practice, it was time for me to move on. There was a lot of pieces of it that I just stopped loving. I stopped loving having to manage teams sometimes that, depending on the staff we had, sometimes would have to babysit. Managing associates that were not trustworthy, had employees in the past that stole from us. You know, even my network marketing business, although we had an incredible woman on the team, I had some that was just like, oh my God, I couldn't even make them drink, and I led them to the water. And it was frustrating for me, and I just felt stressed. And I was running and doing and busy. Busy. How are you, Karen? I'm busy. Look at me. I got the Busy Bee badge. Aren't I fucking awesome? Karen, how do you get so much stuff done? It's just me, man. I'll just go all day. I'm an Energizer Bunny. Like, those are the stories I would tell myself, which I now see. At the time, I truly believed them. But at the time, I look back at those and I go, fucking lies. I was exhausted. I wasn't feeling that great physically. Not like I do now. A year older. I wasn't really truly happy. I was burying myself in all that busy. That's maybe we'll call this episode, Are You Burying Yourself in Busy? To not acknowledge what was really going on, which was like I was frustrated. I was searching. I was open to doing the work. I had begun coaching a year ago as I record this, a little bit, actually more than a year ago. It was probably about 6-7 weeks into coaching in a program called Shield Main with my coach, Satema. And I had done a lot of deep work before leading up to that, but this was like at a entirely different level. No hiding. And I was very open to whatever needed to happen, although at the same time I was trying to control it. At the same time, I just thought, well, I got to do all these things. I got to run. I was addicted to the busy, right? Felt good to be productive. We've all had that. We're like, oh, look at me. Crush the to-do list. Yeah, fuck yes. And then, that goes on. That's kind of a short-term high. And then what's next? There wasn't a real clarity on what I wanted. And so the busy that I was running around and doing, the story that I told of busy, it just never stopped. It was this this insatiable thirst that I could never fill. And And it's, it's also something too that as women, we often are revered and said like, oh my God, you got the kids, you got work, look at your relationship, like everything's great. And, things weren't terrible at all. By the way that most people define life, they would take a look at my life then and go, man, things are really good for you guys. And there were many things that were amazing, but it's not what it is now when I decided really to just let go of the busy. Because this was February a year ago, and then when I got to April, I was like, network marketing? I gotta go. And it wasn't because that was terrible either. I started to get more clear, sister. I started to really ask myself on a regular basis, like, what do I want? I started to set outcomes. I started to actually hit those outcomes. I started to realize that if I focused on the things that mattered, instead of just mattering about everything, that I could actually reach some of these things that I wanted. I could actually get some of these things that I wanted. And if I started to really tell the truth and got honest about what I wanted, and I started to ask myself the question, why? Why do I want these things? Why does it matter for me? Why is this an absolute must? I started to really go deep on this, that my life began to shift. And it didn't happen because I threw more things onto my plate. It didn't happen because I learned some new productivity hack on how to get more shit done in less time. It happened because I got clear on what I want. It happened because I decided to drop the busy. I decided that busy didn't serve me anymore, sister. And I have a feeling that it doesn't serve you anymore either. Now, listen, I'm not saying don't do a lot of shit or, don't do the things that you're really passionate about and that drive you. But I'm going to have you really ask yourself this deep question. Is this really what you want? Or is this something that you think you're supposed to do? Is this something because you're either maybe a stay-at-home mom or you're a mom who also works or has a business? A lot of women that listen to this podcast and follow me and coach that are business owners and entrepreneurs. That you think this is the way it's supposed to roll. Non-stop flurry of action. And let's be honest, business and kids and marriage, like it can be that way at times, right? That's just what is. But busy is a choice. Busy is a choice. Busy can be an addiction. And what I'm going to ask yourself today, and this is more tips, so here's your more tip for today, sister, is ask yourself this question, because I know most of you live in this state. Is busy what I really want? Is busy what I really want? Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to honestly, this is just for you, sister, right? Honestly answer this question. It isn't a question of like, well, I don't know how I can step away from the busy. It's just a conversation. It's simply a question. You don't have to have it all figured out. But just tell the fucking truth. Is busy what I want? And I want you to journal about that for 5, 10, I don't know, take an hour if you want. But is busy what I want? And here's the second step. If your answer to that is no, then what is one action you can take today to change this? And let's make this even more tactical. What is one thing you can let go of in your life right now? One thing. One thing. One thing. And you know what? Here's the crazy part. I thought that if I didn't, busy, go, take care of everybody else and kind of take me, kind of, sort of, that somehow everything and everyone was going to fall apart. And you know what I realized to be true? That was a fucking lie too. Oh, I can't stop doing this because people rely on me. People count on me. But what? You know what? How about you just empower people to do some shit on their own? How about you stop enabling people and doing things for them and allow them and empower them to do the work on their own? The world will not fall apart because you take one thing off your plate today, sister. I promise you that. Promise you that. So here's what I want you to do next. Number one, head over to drkarenosborne.com and sign up for the Women Wanting More newsletter. You're going to get the More For Action Guide, which is how to start your day in power. You'll see an orange pop-up that comes in right when you go into the website, drkarenosborne.com. And you'll enter your name and email, and we'll get you hooked up on that today, because my first time in Women Wanting More Live is coming up in a couple months. My book is being launched. You'll get this podcast 3 times a week into your inbox, and you'll hear from me daily, sister. Daily. To really continually get this message of how to get more within your life. And on top of that, you're going to see a link in today's show notes for the next upcoming webinar. This is a brand new program, sister, that'll be available for all of you. Okay? Less than a cup of coffee a day is your investment to be part of this program, what I'm calling the Women Wanting More Sisterhood. This is my very, very first large-scale program, and at the lowest tuition I've ever offered. Most of my programs are thousands of dollars. And I realized that not all of you can do that. And what I want, clarity on what I want is to actually reach and help more of you. And so this is why I designed the Women Wanting More Sisterhood. And you can be a part of that, sister. So in the show notes, if you're on your iPhone, you're going to click on the little I. There'll be a link for the webinar. It is now, you might be listening to this months later, but it is February the 15th, 2017. So if you're listening to this within the next couple of days, click on that link, get a seat, and be there live, sister, because there is a special investment, special pricing, only for the first 25 women. That's it, first 25. And you will get into this and be grandfathered into that forever. So those that step forward first, get the most. So there you go, sister. So Women Wanting More Sisterhood, brand new program launching to really help you create the best marriage, business, body, family, and you know what? Without being busy, without running yourself into the ground. So I will talk to you in the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from me doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.